Okay.
Oh, you can talk anytime you want. Anyways, we're live now on Periscope, and we're waiting for those of you that have never done Periscope that are hanging out with me in class. People are joining, so people have been waiting to come in, and it tells me on Periscope. I'm here. Here I am. I'm showing people about Periscope. Anyways, it says here.
Doesn't have a hat on.
I know, I don't have my hat on. Oh my God, I have my hat on. Anyways,
Thank you.
yes, it's Stella's birthday. We're trying to figure it out. So I've got some fabulous ladies hanging out in my very messy room. All kinds of cool stuff. Anyways, it's Stella's birthday. How do I know this? It's because Stella's wearing a purple hat. It's her purple birthday month, which is fabulous. Anyways, thanks for crafting with purple, and we're going to get ready in just a second. I'm going to pan around. Oh my gosh, this is Christine and Loretta. They're roomies this year. Anyways, Christine is Queen Do Re Mi of the International Glee Club for the Red Hat Society. Okay. Oh my God, she's actually, I think she hit on key. Oh my gosh, this is kind of scary.
I'm glad you have that on tape because we'll never hear it again.
They have more room right there than we do. They must have moved.
This is the original Sharon Osbourne.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She was Sharon Osbourne before Sharon Osbourne was Sharon Osbourne.
Ozzy in the house.
Right.
Ozzy
So
in the
this
house.
is the real one. Okay. Anybody else is an imposter.
That's correct.
Okay. Are you rooming with her?
Yes.
Rooming with her is the fabulous Jacqueline Kane. Okay, so she's just amazing, and especially to put up with the Sharon Osbourne.
Because, you know, we're very
Right.
particular.
My roommate this year is
Go ahead.
the absolute fabulous Charlotte Large. I love her. I seem to be missing the hat, so hang on a second. Let me hop over here for a second. So at least I have my hat on for just a little bit. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Joanne, also known as Purple. And we'll talk about the Red Hat Society later if you want. But this is a special edition of Crafting with Purple. I'm taking my hat off just because it's easier, so it'll fall off at some point. So these ladies have all joined me because we're going to try to do an actual live class live. So we've got a whole bunch of goodies here. We'll move the table as well so everybody can play with. So what are we doing? The first thing we're going to play with is how do you take buttons. And we're not going to use these because I couldn't find enough of them for everybody. But this was a plain red button with a well in it. And how do you make it so it's cool and it's sparkly? So I'm going to pass this around so everybody can see what it looks like. The ones we're actually going to make are these little teeny tiny little buttons because I was able to actually get them. And these were plain buttons that we transformed into something fabulous for the Sparkle Speedway. So that's the sparkle one. I'm going to hand that off. And I'll show you the plain one as soon as I figure out where they are. So here are the plain buttons that we're going to start with. So if everyone could take 2 buttons and pass that down, I'm going to show you some other things that we've got here on the craft table. So what do we need for this craft besides buttons? You probably need a work surface. And if you guys, there was a red thing on my bed over there, Christine, which you guys can use next to Loretta. One of you can use that. I have a couple plates. If let's see, Stella, you can work on the table. Loretta, you can grab a plate. I think you have. Charlotte is hanging out and checking out what's happening over there. So you want a surface to work on. You need buttons of some sort, and of course buttons come in all shapes and sizes. You need to have a button that has a well in it, so something that we can fill up. Now I played with this a while, and there's different things that we can do. I'm going to do it the easy way. We're filling it up with glitter. Now I've cheated. I went ahead and I need to remember not to turn this sideways. Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy. Red Hat Society says, say hello to everyone for us. Hello, Red Hat Society. And yes, and we are here in Indiana for the Red Hat Society Speedway Sparkle. It's the 2015 International Convention happening at the JW Marriott. If you do live in the area, please come in on Saturday. There's a special shopping pass, $25 for non-members. And that will include your first year's membership in the Red Hat Society. So love to see you here on Saturday. I'm not 100% sure. I think the hours are 9 to 5 for the shopping pass. But you can find out more information at redhatsociety.com or message me on Facebook, facebook.com/purpleology, PURPLEOLOGY. All right, let's get back to things. I made it easy since I'm in a craft room to use glitter that was already in glue, but feel free to take glue yourself and mix it with your favorite glitter. But one thing I did find, since the glue dries clear and I'm putting it on a button, 9 to 5 is for Saturday is correct. Thank you so much. I'm assuming This is our fabulous Emily, the event coordinator, who's hanging out here with the Red Hat Society, who is keeping an eye on me on Periscope. So I love that you can tune in and keep track of me. It's always fabulous to see you. So in this case, I'm using just a standard button. I think I ended up buying these on Amazon, actually. So these are called, this is an octagon shape, 4-hole zinc. Anyways, but you need something that has a little bit of a well in it. But when I did this the first time and filled it up, because it was clear, I didn't like the color. So what we're going to do is I have, and I used this in a different video, I have Sharpie oil base markers. Okay, and you might have seen these. I did this when I was doing coffee mugs. And you'll find this on my YouTube channel, Crafting with Purple, and that's P-R-P-L-E. And I have red, a magenta, and a purple. So what I basically did is I colored on the inside of my button, and I also did the outer edges of the button, and we can look at that again. And that just helped give a base color before we put the glue in, okay? Now, because I was cheap and I didn't want to buy extra Sharpie markers, I only have 3, so you guys are going to have to share. Oh, excuse me. Look at her face. You have to share. Okay. Let's arm wrestle.
No, I'm taking it first.
Okay, excuse me. Since Christine is taking it first, I'm going to hand all the paint markers to the Sharon Osborne, so she can decide what color she wants. So basically what you need to do is always give your markers just a little bit of a shake first. Shake, shake, shake. And then
Which one?
what's going to happen is she's going to paint the inside of the marker. And I'm going to set this up so that I don't have to hold you for a second. It's me you don't like? All right. You know, these are my friends. You know, and they're friends like this. A woman is just blessed. Okay. So give it a little bit of a shake. You hear it. And actually, can I have one of the markers for just a second? So for those of you that are following me along, hello. And I need to figure out where it is. Okay, so here's the thing.
I don't want to make anything, I just want to do this.
Okay. Now remember, this is
going to help with this.
Hey guys, this is paint. I don't have any nail polish remover with me, so if you get it on you, that's the only way you're going to get it off.
I have some.
I have
Okay.
some.
Okay. So basically what we're doing, and I'm going to show you, is that you just take it and you're going to color in the inside of, and I'll show you guys, and then very carefully, if you want to also do, which is what I did on mine, I put the paint so it was right on the edge.
What if you don't want to do the edge? What if you just want to make the edge something different?
You can do that too.
Like I got
Okay.
one with an edge and one without an edge. Because I got like glitter glue in my.
You can do whatever you want. They're your buttons.
She's got glitter glue too.
Okay,
I
so
got glitter. I would put glitter on the outside.
right, you can do whatever you want. So that's what I did. Is I went ahead and as you can see, as I'm tilting it, that it's painted on the inside. You can see the little difference and a little bit on the edge. Okay.
Can I color the whole?
You can color anything you want. Okay. You can actually color the whole thing if you want.
You
Now,
cannot color Loretta.
some of the rules when you're working with.
Yeah.
Well,
I think this is out. I'm out of control.
I could see the gears going. I thought I better.
Anyways, say hi, everybody. When you're playing with things with glue or with paint, you always should make sure that you have something to wipe up your spills. So I do have some handy-dandy Kleenex here. Usually my favorite thing to have with me is Starbucks napkins, but I forgot to borrow a couple this morning.
Well, the hotel has free
I know.
tissues.
But we have free tissues from the hotel. Something else that comes in handy sometimes to have is maybe a towel. This is a washcloth. But, you know, again, we're using paint and glue, so whatever you're using, assume that you're going to have to throw it away later. So things that you should always have. And then, of course, make sure that you're not using the paint pen on your lap or whatever, because there is holes. It'll go right through and you'll end up painting your pants, which could be a good thing depending on the color your pants are. So you just have to take this into account. So everyone is taking their time, and while they're catching up to me, because we, you know, it's hard to take over. Okay, so basically then what happens? Okay, remember we're working with buttons. Okay, the fabulous thing about buttons, and of course these are buttons with holes, not the shank kind. If you want to use the shank kind, that's fine, but you need to remember to clip off the back part of your button. Okay, so the back part of the shank. However, can you see there's holes here? So what do you think is going to happen if we take our glue and we go ahead and squirt in our holes? Well, in a perfect world, nothing, but in reality, it's going to probably go right through the holes, and you're going to put it down, you're going to glue it to your table. You know what? I did that. So we have to come up with a solution. You don't want to just do it on your... Christine likes to be Captain Hook when she goes to the wenches thing, and she just tends to always look through things through a periscope.
See through it.
I don't know. Her meds may need to be adjusted. We'll have to have a discussion about that. Anyways, so if you do it on a plate and put it down on your plate, you'll end up gluing your buttons to your plate. So what do? The one supply we didn't talk about, Scotch tape. Okay, we all have this hanging around the house. Okay, so what do? I take off a length of Scotch tape, and these guys are painting, so they're not paying attention. They don't need to be. I always fold over an edge. That way I have an edge to hold on to, like a little tab. Okay, I then can take my buttons, and I can stick them right to the Scotch tape. Okay, it does two things. It plugs up the holes, and then it doesn't stick later, and I can pull it off really easy to then do the final step, which is gluing on my ear backs. Okay, but you need to do this so that way the glue doesn't go through. So easy peasy, you're going to make your own tabs. Okay, everybody still following me? Cool. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what's going on over there. I don't think I want to know.
Conspiracy going on.
There's a conspiracy going on. Anyways, I do love all of these girls, but sometimes they really just drive me crazier than I already am. I know, it's amazing. Okay, when the glue dries, so what's going to happen is we're going to put the glue in, and the glue, you'll actually dome it up a little bit because the glue will settle down. The glue then has to dry, which of course is not going to happen during class time. And then at the end, when you're all done with the glue, and the glue's gone in, and I don't know if you can see, but the glue, instead of being raised up, is actually a little concave. Kind of sinks in a little bit. You can come back and add more glue if you want, but I kind of like the look. And then all you have to do then is, on your back, you would glue an earring back. And at your craft store, you can get little packets of earring backs. But of course, like me, when I bought them, I said, oh great, I've got my earrings. I got home and I went, I have earring backs. I don't have the posts. So most craft stores, you have to make sure you get both packages, the posts as well as the earring back. Or for those of you who, like me, do not have pierced ears, you can get clips that have flat backs, and then you can glue the buttons directly to that flat back. And those also come in silver and they come in gold. Okay. So that's kind of what's happening here as we're catching everybody up on what we're doing. So you want to make sure both of your buttons match.
Oh.
Or you can have your buttons not match if you want one button be different than the other button. But you might want your buttons to match.
Oh, be different.
Anyways, it's cool. So let's see how everybody's doing on their buttons. Okay, so we're getting them colored. Okay. And they dry pretty quick. Yeah, unless you use a lot of color. Which is fabulous. I like it. Okay. Which is cool. Okay. I'm supposed to come over here, but we're going to show Christine's.
Yeah, they got tape.
She's, of course, using my favorite color, which is purple.
No, I didn't.
And they're working actually on the top of a plastic box. So here's Loretta's. Okay. So
You had Scotch tape.
hopefully
No,
everybody
but
is...
I'm behind because
Everybody's
right
following along really well. So, when we decide to glue, again, you can take any kind of glue and mix it with glitter. You can also think about using something like nail polish and add glitter. I haven't tried that yet, but I saw that it's supposed to work. Again, I only have one bottle of glue, so we'll share as we go along.
You can buy nail polish that already has the glitter in it. You don't have to do anything. but
Exactly.
wait.
And that's why I decided to do the Elmer's glue. Now, when we're playing with this, before I get too far, something else you should have, these happen to be a bamboo skewer. Another thing that works would be a coffee stirrer like from Starbucks. But you need something that's thin. I have a lot of Starbucks stuff. Starbucks. I should have stock in Starbucks. Anyways, and I'll show you why we need this. So what's going to happen is, when we add the glue, it comes out pretty gloppy, or not at all. hence why you should always be working on a surface. And it kind of glops up there and kind of, oh my gosh, okay. And I kind of tap it a little bit and hope that I keep it in the hole. You have to play with it a little bit. It's not the easiest thing. It's kind of like flubber. It has a mind of its own. But if you notice, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of just sitting there, and it's being really funky. Christine's coming over. You can see her reflection. Okay. It kind of sets up, and it's kind of funky. That's when you use your little crafty stick. And your crafty stick, you kind of then use it to get to the edges and move it all around. So it's really happy. Just remember, you now have glue and glitter on the end of the stick. So don't put it directly on your table. You want to then put it back on your work surface so you don't get things mucked up. Okay? But that way you can put the glue around, see how you're doing, and then if you need to add more glue, you can. Okay? So you want to try to put some glue in it, glue in the other, kind of try to keep it as even as you can. You'll probably only get the glue in the center, and then you'll munge it about. That makes sense?
Got it. What about the little pointy toothpicks if you had a box of them?
A pointy toothpicks would be an excellent thing to do.
Because you can get like a couple, Sam's, you get like 1,000 of them for next to nothing.
You know, Sharon is just absolutely brilliant in the craft world. Oh my gosh. Oh, for those of you that are watching, if you're here in Indianapolis, the most amazing flag was crafted by Sharon Osborne. It took her 11 months. It's counted, cross-stitch. Is there any embroidery on it, or is it all counted?
It's all counted.
Oh my God, it is absolutely fabulous. Do you have it with you?
Yeah, I can't turn it in until tomorrow.
You can't turn it into tomorrow, but you know what? You guys are going to get a sneak preview.
55,000 stitches.
55,000 stitches. Is this
Took me
amazing?
11 months, 10 hours a
This
day.
is absolutely, I think it's just freaking awesome.
That should go back to high quarters.
So,
No, it's
In the
I mean, it's just amazing. What's even cool is over here, anybody can guess what those initials are? SCCEQM, DG, CEO, LM, EVQ. Anyways, all I'm going to say is if you don't know those initials, it's because you're not part of the Red Hat Society, and you really need to be. So talk to me later, and I can tell you how to join. Anyways, it's amazing. While I walk. Okay,
I
so
was working on it in the hotel.
I think at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the glue off to somebody who wants to go ahead and play. Here's
I'm going to
glue,
fill mine with silver.
and you may do whatever you like because it's your buttons.
I have silver glitter glue in the room.
So-
Yeah, we're going to fill ours with silver.
Okay.
Put the backs on.
I was
So-
busy.
No
I
worries.
didn't hear your
Um,
instructions.
Do you need bamboo skewers for later? Okay, because you can take those
Angel
for later.
Sparkle
Okay.
shimmer.
Anyways,
It covers it.
So-
You see it glitters?
that's basically putting together. Now you're going to have to let the glitter dry. So you're basically going to let it have to sit for overnight. And then when you're going to come back, you're going to then glue on your pin backs. For that, I recommend
didn't
something
do a
nice and
card,
strong.
I didn't
E6000 is probably my favorite for gluing a metal to a metal. Okay, so again, all you do is a little dab of the glue, you throw the pin back right on there, and you just leave it sitting there. Again, I usually leave it overnight because it's just safer and you know it's connected. You've made a cool earring. Okay, it's that easy. Those of you with clip earrings, because the clips are actually on an angle, you might need to put something in between it to prop it up a little bit to keep it nice and straight. Okay, I don't fly straight, but you really want your glue to stay straight. Again, easy peasy. Okay, so I know the glue's coming around, but we're going to go on to the next thing that I said I would talk about with everyone. And I don't know about you. Let me talk to you for a minute. How many of you have, I don't know, 50,000 pins that you never wear? And you think, gosh, I really wish I could wear those pins as a necklace. Well, there's some really cool pin converters, and my friend Diane with Red Hat Regalia, she sells an awesome one that's a rhinestone. You can put your pin through it, and it changes it so you can wear it as a necklace. But sometimes you're not where a vendor is, so you can't buy that awesomeness, and you just really want to make it into a necklace. So what would you do with these pins? So let me show you an example. I didn't quite finish mine today because I'm going to demonstrate. Well, what about, here's 3 pins, okay? And oh my gosh, are they pins or are they the size of a necklace?
Look at this.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay, now all we need to do to connect it, and there's different ways to connect it. One of the easiest ways, this is a pin. okay, these are pins that I'm using, is you can put ribbon through here. Whoops, where's my mirror? I'm looking at myself. You can use ribbon on either end, so you can tie it like a choker. Or maybe you have a necklace that's too short. It's already got a connector in the back. Cut it in the middle, and then you can put the pin or the end of the necklace on either end to have a chain. So here I had, now this case I took 2 pins that were exactly the same and a different one in the middle. But wouldn't this make a fabulous choker? Now no pins were harmed. So let me switch you so I can show everybody how this works. Okay, so these are all pins, okay? And all I did was they're connected by safety pins. And I'll pass this around, okay? So they're just connected by safety pins. No pins were harmed in doing this, okay? Now, I started playing with this. I wanted to put this one actually in the middle, but the problem is that these aren't quite long enough on these particular ones. I couldn't get this really cool one hooked in, so I had to use a smaller one. Okay, so what did you do? Okay, all you need is some really big safety pins. Okay, and I don't really remember where I bought these. I think they might have been from the dollar store. Okay.
Diaper pins might work.
Diaper pins may work. Okay, like I said, no pins were harmed. There's our pin. Okay, it's like magic. Okay.
That is so.
These are just pins. That's all I've done. Okay, so I'm going to take this all apart, and then we'll put it back together again. And I'll show all you guys offline in front of you as well, but you probably got the idea. Okay? So here's pin 1. Okay? Now, when you're putting the pin on, you want to take into account, that's all right. So you want to make sure that, that's okay. So at the end here, it's nice. And the other pin part is hidden, so that when you close it, you've got the nice end sticking out. So take into account, and of course you'll do it the reverse way on your other pin. Okay, you just start with 1 pin, and I just put it right through. Sorry, I went off screen. Okay, I keep it open. I get glitter because I'm not paying attention, so you go ahead and glitter yourself, make yourself sparkly. I'm just putting it in. I'm not putting it in the hole. I'm just sticking it right on. Okay. And then I go ahead and I close it up. And this pin will now be here, and it'll be ready then. I didn't seal it. This now pin will be ready to go into whatever my next pin is. Okay? You can connect as many pins as you want. Okay? And you can keep doing that. I'm having a little trouble because it's in front of me, not next to me. And you can connect as many pins as you want. And again, what do you see? All you see is metal between the 2 pins. Okay? So you can connect as many as you need to go around. Think about doing this. It would make a fabulous hat band. Think of all the pins you could connect together and make an amazing hat band that's your pins alone, showcasing all of the cool things you have, your chapter pins or whatever. And then again, no pins were harmed in the making, so you can take it all apart.
It's a fabulous idea.
Okay. And again, you can use ribbon at the end to connect it, or if you had a piece of chain, you know, you might need to do is a jump ring to connect to your chain here. Of course, when you take it off, the chain would always be off going this way, but it would have a connector. So you can take an existing necklace, cut it right in half.
You wouldn't even have to cut it.
So,
You could
it depends on if it's long enough, or you could even weave this
you
in.
could take the jump ring over the one end of the pin and then just hook it on the other side. with
You
the
could.
clip.
You could do that.
Keep
That
you
way
from
you
losing
still
your
would have a
pins.
good necklace.
It's not going to work on the
It won't work. You can't put those on to keep
not
the
with
pins?
this. No, what Sharon gave me, which I use all the time, are these little pin backy things. And if you're putting your pins on your clothing, if you're like me, you'll find your pins drop off. It happened here at the hotel already, at the JW Marriott in Indy. I just dropped a little doohickey. I had to call security. They had it and they're lost and found. Lucky for me, not too many people spell their name Joann, so nobody else wanted it. But anyways, using these little pin backs to help keep things onto your clothing are fabulous. Okay, and I'll show you that in another video. But anyways, so that is...
Procedure.
No, you can't because there's nothing to hold it on to. And I'll show you why. But anyways, that's your special edition with Crafting with Purple. I'm glad you could join us. And I'm going to pan around and go ahead and wave all my fabulous friends here who decided to join me. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, and we got all kinds of hearts. I love it. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.